This is Fox 49 News at 6:30.
Yeah, a big mess to clean up after this site yesterday. That gas line exploding and rocking homes in South Springfield on Monday. Great to see you here at 6:30. I'm Mike Landis.
And I'm Lauren Barnes. City Utilities says power has been restored as they work to rebuild a high voltage line. Fox 49's Parker Paget spoke to City Utilities and Springfield Fire today, explaining why they determined it was safer to just let that fire burn.
It's even at the basic level in the academy that if you have an escaping flammable gas that's on fire, then part of the problem's handled. It looks bad, it sounds bad, but the reality is, yes, if it's burning, then it's being consumed to a great degree, and we don't have to worry about that migration. If you have a release of a flammable chemical and it's not yet ignited, there are ignition sources everywhere.
Springfield Fire says nearly 25 firefighters responded to the scene along with police and city utilities workers. I'm told firefighters trained and respond with CU for situations just like this. CU tells me this began as maintenance with a crew of 5, but the 3 closest to the explosion got away quickly and only suffered cuts and bruises. The utility company tells me there are several investigations underway.
There's a city utilities investigation as to what happened, how it was handled. There's an investigation with the Missouri Public Service Commission that will be going on. And because this is a natural gas transmission line, there'll be an investigation with the Department of Transportation. So there's some serious investigation going on. We're going to have answers to how this happened, but by all purposes right now, what we can see is it appears to be just a failure of a piece of equipment.
And that was Parker Paget reporting for us tonight. They say they hope to have that high voltage line rebuilt by the end of today.
Taking a look now at our Fox 49 forecast. Beautiful clear skies across Springfield. Got some clouds up there, Jamie. I got some sun on my head earlier today, but it's certainly a lot quieter and calmer than it was this time last night.
Yeah, you know, the clouds in Springfield, they kind of come and then they go. Right now, they're kind of in the process of thinning back out again. Take a look at this range in temperatures. We've got 98 at this hour in Joplin, hit 100 there earlier today. In Springfield, it's 89 degrees. You head up the road up I-44. In Fort Leonard Wood right now, it is 74 degrees. That is an area that has been hit with rainfall on and off throughout all of the day today. In fact, we've seen multiple waves of showers and thunderstorms, and on radar right now you can see while the bulk of it is on the way out, we've still got some light showers and cloud cover in this corridor. This will gradually shut down as we head through this upcoming evening, and temperatures, which are warm right now in Springfield, will cool back to the 80s. I don't expect any wet weather here in Springfield overnight tonight. I think we're going to find partly starry skies. 86 at 8 o'clock, 80 at 10 o'clock, kind of a warm night. Temperatures dropping to about 74 by morning for the morning low. And tomorrow looks hot across the area. It also looks like a quiet day across the area before storm chances return. And with that, we'll also find a return to milder weather. Good looking Saturday forecast. I'll have that for you coming up, Mike. Going
to be nice. Thank you, Jamie. And of course, because of all this hot weather, some pools around Springfield and also the cooling centers are staying open later, so it's not too late to hit the pool today. And to find specific addresses and more information, you can find this list on our website, ozarksfirst.com.
Putting crime in focus now, a teenage suspect in a possible shooting has been arrested and charged with stealing today. During a suspicious person investigation, police say they found that 19-year-old Talon Voigt was in possession of multiple people's credit cards, driver's licenses, and social security cards. Officers then learned that Voigt was the suspect in a possible shooting on July 13th. Right now, Voigt is charged with 5 counts of felony stealing, but not yet charged in that shooting case. For the first time in nearly 60 years, a suspect on the FBI's 10 most wanted list could be in St. Louis. Donald Eugene Fields II is suspected of sex trafficking children, which the FBI says gives him a rightful place on that list. The 59-year-old pictured here allegedly offered another man sex with a minor girl in exchange for vacations and Christmas presents. He faces a federal sex trafficking charge and state charges of statutory rape, sodomy, and molestation, with at least 5 victims, all girls as young as 11. His whereabouts have been unknown since last March, but officials now believe he might be in our area.
Has a lot of ties to the St. Louis region as well as kind of the Midwest and Southeast, so it would not surprise me that he was here locally still trying to make a go of it.
Authorities say he enjoys spending time at casinos and has a distinct tribal tattoo on his arm. There is a $250,000 reward for his arrest. If you have any information, you can find the FBI tip line on our website, ozarksfirst.com. Families are mourning after 5 fatal crashes in the past week, all on southwest Missouri highways.
The Highway Patrol says fatal crashes in the area are up compared to this time last year. Fox 49's Carissa Codell joins us live near I-44 in Springfield after talking with a friend of Kenny Barker, who died in a motorcycle crash on Sunday. Good evening, Carissa.
Yeah, that's right. A friend told me Kenny Barker was always safe when riding his motorcycle and even looked out for the safety of others as well.
When he rode, he was always safe.
38-year-old Kenny Barker died Sunday evening after his motorcycle skidded off the road and hit a fence. Michael Williams played on the same softball team as Barker and says he was like a second father to him.
Kenny was a key importance in everybody's life out here. Kenny would help everybody, all the young kids out here, he helped. Kenny was the softball man. He was a softball guru.
Williams said Kenny was the man who kept everyone together.
Everybody's already close-knit as it is already, but Kenny made it better for everybody.
Barker was wearing a helmet when he died, something the Highway Patrol says it's seeing less and less. Sergeant Mike McClure with Troop D says Southwest Missouri has seen a 43% increase in motorcycle deaths. Of those, about 50% were not wearing a helmet.
In fact, we're pretty much at an all-time high.
Troop D has also seen a 100% increase this year in fatal crashes where a seatbelt was not worn.
What we see on the road from day to day, working crashes, we can attest to that. Seatbelts save lives. Choose your discomfort. If the seatbelt is uncomfortable, is that more uncomfortable being strapped to the back of a gurney getting shipped into an ambulance?
Williams said Barker was big on safety, making this accident even more of a shock.
Even when he played softball, he wore his helmet, his shin guards. He didn't want to get hurt.
And there's a benefit softball game happening in August for Kenny. And there's also a GoFundMe page that's been made. And you can find links to donate on this story on our website, ozarksfirst.com. Reporting live in Springfield, I'm Carissa Codell, Ozarks First.
All right, thank you for that update, Carissa. A woman in Morgan County has died after her horse-drawn buggy was struck by a Jeep. Anna Leichbach Barnett was a passenger in that buggy. The investigation showed the Jeep struck the rear end of that buggy, ejecting the line box. Anna was pronounced dead there at the scene. The buggy's driver was taken to the hospital with some moderate injuries.
Well, many streets in Springfield are receiving a makeover across town as the city rejuvenates several miles of roadway. You might run into some of that road work this week at Cox Avenue between Battlefield Road and Butterfield Street, and Grant Avenue between Jean Street and Norton Road. That's in the Doling neighborhood.
To repave, resurface through milling and overlaying a big portion of streets throughout the city of Springfield. So this year we've got about 22 lane miles planned of resurfacing areas that are in need of repavement.
And as for the construction taking place in downtown Springfield, the Jefferson Streetscape project began in March, and city officials hope to have most of it done in the next month, with big crowds expected downtown for the Route 66 festival.
Well, a sad day for folks at Dickerson Park Zoo, losing a popular member of its animal family earlier today. Gidget, the longtime matriarch of the zoo's giraffes, had to be put down earlier this morning. The zoo says she had severe arthritis and was having a hard time moving because of her age. Gidget lived in Springfield since 1993 when she came to the zoo. She had 2 daughters and a granddaughter. This August, she would have turned 31 years old. Looking at some national political coverage tonight, in a social media tirade, former President Donald Trump said he received notice that he's a target of a federal grand jury looking into his actions leading up to the Capitol riot. Some believe it's a sign that as the investigation winds down, even more charges against him could be coming. Fox's Caroline Shively has more tonight for us from Washington.
Former President Donald Trump is entangled with the law yet again, after just last month pleading not guilty to federal charges related to his handling of classified documents. Now another indictment could be coming down the pike. Special counsel Jack Smith sent a letter to Trump Sunday informing him he is the target of a criminal investigation looking at efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
These letters often tell the target that they need to preserve evidence, that they need to look at counsel, and that they have a set period of time where they can appear before the grand jury.
And charges could be next. Investigators have been eyeing obstruction, looking at Trump's actions leading up to the Capitol riot. It would be his third criminal indictment in months, but Republicans say the timing is not accidental.
If you notice recently, President Trump went up in the polls and was actually surpassing President Biden for re-election. So what do now? Weaponize government to go after their #1 opponent.
Mr. Trump's legal woes are sucking all the oxygen out of the GOP primary. But politically, it might be what the frontrunner needs.
Each of these indictments seems to give him a boost in the polls.
The White House is declining to comment on the case. Other Democrats say they weren't surprised.
And I expect Donald Trump to be indicted in the near future.
We also expect state charges to come very soon related to Trump's actions to overturn election results in Georgia. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, former Arkansas governor and now presidential candidate Asa Hutchinson speaking out against Donald Trump, saying he expects the former president will be facing another indictment sometime soon. In a statement, Hutchinson said, while Donald Trump would like the American people to believe that he was the victim in the situation, the truth is that the real victims of January 6th were our democracy, our rule of law, and the Capitol police officers who worked valiantly to protect our nation's capital.
And still ahead tonight, after several days of storms, we have a roundup of damage to the area. Plus, we'll hear from Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner about what to expect next.
You're watching Fox 49 News at 6:30 with Mike Landis, Lauren Barnes, and weather with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.